like I said, I'll answer the question. Do I regret getting married? Um,
Pick your answer wisely.
no, of course I don't regret it. I don't regret it. Nah, but seriously, I think every man once you propose, like you feel like a oh shit, like what did I just do kind of moment.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if women feel the same way once they get proposed to, but like even my cousin, he felt the same way, and I told him, "Hey, man, that's normal." But I feel like once you actually like get married, you don't feel that way. It's like, all right, you feel it a little bit, but it's like not as much. I think you
I
feel
guess so.
better.
Like, would you say that your feelings are different from when we were just like boyfriend and girlfriend versus now? Do you feel like your feelings have became more strong?
I feel like you've grown a lot. I feel like when we met, we both had a lot of growing to do, but you were in like a completely different phase of life than what I was in. Like I had already graduated college. I was, I was in my profession, you know. And although I'm only 2.5 years older than you, that's a big difference when you're in different phases of life. You were still in college and, you know, living that life. So I don't know. What was your question? It's late.
I was saying, do you feel like your feelings have became stronger after getting married? Like, like how we were boyfriend and girlfriend first, and then it's like I feel like every little milestone of something important happening in our lives, I feel like it makes us stronger and like.
Well, I think that for me, watching you mature and grow up and become a woman was very, very, um, it was very, very comforting for me because when we met, I knew we clicked, right? You know, we got along really well. Of course, we had arguments every so often, but I knew in order for us to make it, we both had to change certain things. And when I realized that you would be a good mom, like when I started to see certain qualities, and your mother is also a really a good nurturer, she's a good mother. I think that was what made me feel that even if I made a wrong decision for me, I wouldn't have made the wrong decision for our future child. And I think that was the most important for me. And I was just praying that, you know, I didn't become a baby daddy and you did some stupid stuff. I think that's every man's like biggest
I
fear.
don't want to be a baby mom.
I know you don't. But the
Oh
thing
my
is,
god. I just hear, you just always hear about everybody like, I hate my baby dad. I hate my baby mom. Not trying to deal with it.
and that was one of the reasons why too, I feel like it was important that we got married because to me, when you get married, it shows how serious you are about the other person.
Mhm.
And I didn't want you to be a baby mama. I didn't want to be no baby daddy. And it sounds so childish to call somebody a girlfriend to me now. You know what I mean?
I feel like us having to go through IVF. You know how like a lot of times when you get with somebody, a lot of people end up getting pregnant,
Hmm.
within like the first year, few months, whatever. I feel like us having to go through IVF, like I guess really challenged us, to know whether we were gonna be each other's equal. You know what I mean? Like it was hard for us to conceive, that was already a milestone. And it's just like we obviously had to go through a lot just to get our baby. So it's like I feel like it really challenged like our relationship, but it did make us stronger. But not in it didn't challenge us in a negative way.
No, I think it was a good experience because both of us went through it together and we were both trying to, we had the same goal. And although, a lot of women say, it's really not the man going through it, it's the woman because
But
you
it's
got to
also
do.
like we both wanted her. You know what I mean? It's not like, oh, I wanted the baby, so I got pregnant.
Mhm.
Or he wanted to get me pregnant because he wanted the baby. It was like equally us both wanting the baby.
Right.
Because if we both didn't want the baby, we probably would have never, went through it. Because obviously we did IVF.
And a lot of people too, they don't really understand their own body. Like they don't even know if their body is capable of, having children naturally. Especially what I see nowadays. I see a lot of young people, they they kind of poop on people who have kids and who are young and married and like, hey, they're like, I can't see myself being married. Like that's too boring and this and that. But when they get to a certain age, let's say you get to like 30, 31, 32 years old, it's like, okay, maybe it's time to settle down. Let's say you start settling down. A lot of people find out that their bodies aren't capable of doing the things that they thought, you know. And for a lot of women, that's a harsh, realization, because if you can't, and you need extra help, do you have the ability to be able to get that help?
Mm-hmm.
Did you wait too late? The beauty about our situation was, although you had the issues that you had, we were able to, you know understand that those were the issues early,
Mm-hmm.
so we were able to act on it. And one thing about life that I always tell people nowadays is, you never know what's going to happen in the future, so you can't always plan for stuff. And for me, I always said, I want to have kids in my late 20s. And I kind of did. I'm 27, not really late 20s, kind of mid
Mm-hmm.
20s. But I'm the type of person where if something doesn't feel like it's the absolute right time, I'll keep procrastinating and I'll keep kicking the can down the road.
That's why, like, I can never ask him, like, "Hey, do you want to have a baby right now?" Because you're not gonna get a direct answer.
Because to me, it's like, I don't know, like those type of commitments, when you feel like you have a lot of responsibility as is, even though you're like more than capable of accepting more, there's always that little apprehension of, accepting more. And I would love to have another child,
Mm-hmm.
but we'll have to see what happens. I'm not saying too much or anything, hoping.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, I think that we need to reprogram ourselves as a society, especially in the Black community, about what it means to be in a relationship, what it means to care about people. And sex is sex, right?
Mm-hmm.
I feel like everybody in today's society can get it, from
Yeah.
somebody. Somebody's willing to give it up.
Somebody somewhere.
Somebody willing to give it up, you know. And these apps make it easy for you to find those people who want to give it up.
Okay.
So I don't know. I guess that's all I had to say about that. I definitely don't regret, getting married. I feel like, because of that, now I'm able to take care of you better, and now we have a family. She's a fantastic mother. I know, I know. I don't like the mushy gushy stuff.
I do what I can.
I'm not that type
Yes,
of
he
guy.
is.
I don't really like it. But anyway, what's going on with you? I know Mari is what, 3.5 months now. How are you feeling now after
Oh
giving birth and now being a MILF?
my God. I feel like after having her, it just seemed like everything just started moving so fast. My pregnancy felt so slow, but it just like sometimes I get sad because I'm like, oh my God, like she's growing so much, and like you remember when they were like small, and you're having to put up clothes and put out new clothes. Ugh, it's just so heartbreaking. But then at the same time, it makes you so happy because each day she's doing something new. She's learning something new. So like she'll be more alert than she was the previous day, or she's making this sound and she wasn't making that sound yesterday. So I think that's really neat. But I don't know, it just makes me so happy. She's literally the best thing ever in the world. Like I'm
Like,
gonna literally cry because I love her
like.
that much. But she's just, I don't know. And it's like you have like my eyes are watering up.
Oh,
It's like you have like your little person, and then she looks up to you and she loves you so much. And like I feel like babies are so vulnerable. Stop.
Verneber.
Vulnerable and very pure. So it's
Oh.
just, oh, my eyes are watering.
Well, guys, I'll say this. Since everyone's getting all emotional, I think that
My
having a
eyes are
child,
watering.
you're ruining your makeup. You are totally ruining your makeup. Um, but for me, I think that once I had, or once you had the baby, I was gonna say once I had the baby, once you had given birth, and I was able to see something that I created. You know,
Like it don't feel real until like it's, like I don't
mm,
know how to explain it. It
like
was like when I first was pregnant, I was like, ain't no baby up in here. Ain't no way. And then your stomach grow and you're like, okay, maybe there is a baby in here.
there's a
Then,
baby in there.
then the baby come out and you're like, holy
Baby come
shit,
out
this is
like, what
my
the hell going
baby.
on? Baby be like, ah.
And it's like she looks like some of both of us. So like
Mhm.
Anyway, sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
No, that was good. For me, it's the same feeling. It's like you have a baby, and now, like, I really, really encourage people to want to have a family because I think the idea of having a family is scary. It's like a lot of responsibility, especially for a man, right? And a lot of men nowadays, especially younger men, they don't have everything set up. They're not already making six figures. They're not already doing all these things that you know they would want to do.
Hmm.
So instead of even thinking that it's possible to have a family at a young age, they just, it's not a goal that they have because it's not something on their radar. But after having, you know, the baby, after getting married, after waking up, seeing the baby, it's just
Like
like,
that's the first person I mean, I look at you too, babe. But she's the first person I normally always look at every time I wake up. And every time I look at her, she's laughing. She's so happy. Like that just makes my heart melt. I'm like, oh my God, like she's so happy and she loves life. She don't know how messed up the world is, but she loves life. She loves her mom. She loves her dad.
Mhm. Y'all gonna hate me, but I didn't really charge the camera that much before we started this podcast. So if the podcast just shut off randomly, it is what it is. But we're gonna keep it going
Until it cut off.
until it cut
Okay.
off. And if it does, it does. If it don't, you know what I'm saying? Oh, I'm getting an alert now. It's already about to cut off. Anyway, y'all.